What's up, A to Z Sports live on a Monday, another Victory Monday. It's the second Victory Monday in the month of December. You've got to be kidding me. The Titans are 2-1 in December of 2025, and they might end the month 3-1. Who knows? The Titans make easy work of a dismantled Chiefs roster with quarterbacks that nobody knows how to say their name and a lot of other players out for the Chiefs, but the Titans, behind Cam Ward's most satisfying performance of the season, get a win. Big time. Cruise 26-9, and it could have been worse than that and bigger than that if Cleet Blakeman did not get in the way of normal activity.
Come on, Cleet.
Cleet Blakeman,
you big dummy,
continues to be the worst ref of NFL refs with the biggest hall monitor energy you possibly could have.
Puka was right.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Wrong messenger, right message. He was right.
I don't know what Puka said. But was it the same thing from Thursday?
Well, there was a tweet Thursday.
Yeah, was that Cleet?
No. That tweet that was about refs in general. But tweet was a follow up to him saying on a stream earlier in the week that refs suck and they sometimes make calls just to get on TV and get attention.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, we're gonna have a big time show here talking about this Titans win, what it does for Cam Ward, what Cam Ward has been showing everybody kind of behind the scenes. And all of a sudden, Cam Ward having a good rookie year? Like all of a sudden, like, are the numbers catching up to the film? We'll discuss that, where he has made the biggest strides, the most impressive part of that win yesterday, and what does it do to the draft order? So we're going to have a good show here, Easton, on a Monday. Christmas week has arrived, so welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody is off to a great start on your Christmas week. We will have an abbreviated week of morning shows, but that doesn't mean the content will stop. All content in a lot of other places. But Easton, welcome in, and congrats on maybe your second. I don't know the last time you've had a win watching the Titans win in Nissan Stadium, but it's been a long time for you in the press box to experience a win in a winning locker room. So winning locker room for Easton last night.
No. I experienced a winning locker room against the Seattle Seahawks just a couple of weeks ago, as we established. That was I experienced what it felt like to have a win. Yesterday, I got to see what an actual win looked like. But you're right. I haven't been there for an actual on the scoreboard win. I mean, it's been since the 2023 season, I think. So I think it's since before I was with A to Z. I don't think I've been there for. I've been there for some preseason wins, big preseason wins.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We got a great show for you guys today, and we're gonna empty the chamber because it is an abbreviated week, and so only 2 shows means we got to cram 5 days worth of discussion into two shows, and we will endeavor to do that here just in a minute. But first, I'm going to figure out how to speak this morning. Second, I'm going to figure out how to quit being mad at things this morning. I'm in an angry mood. You're going
to figure out which is the right Harbaugh brother.
Shut up. I'm having a rough morning this morning.
You walked into it. So.
Yeah. So like the show. Just help me out. Put me in a better mood by liking the show this morning. That would go a long way, not for our product alone, but for me and my current disposition. I would really appreciate that. And then jump into the comments. We want to hear your thoughts on Facebook and on YouTube. Let us know what you think about the Titans getting their 3rd win of the year yesterday. Austin, some of us aren't surprised by this. Some of us were ridiculed on this show and by local media members alike during the bye week for saying the Titans would get 3 more wins down the stretch, and they are 1 win shy of doing just that. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I tried to warn you.
You did. You did try to warn us, but let's get it going officially. Welcome to AtoZSports here live on this Monday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Easton Freezer, Titans reporter for AtoZSports.com, and we are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8:10 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. Leave us or follow us on Google, because that goes a long way.
Leave us on Google.
Leave us on Google. No, I almost said leave us a 5-star review, but we don't care about that anymore. We appreciate all your hundreds of 5-star Google reviews over the summer. But follow us on Google. I just clicked that link, or I just pasted that link in the chat. You can click to do that as a preferred source for all of your Titans Googling that you do on like Googling Cam Ward stats, and then AtoZSports gets to show up as a preferred source and outlet there. So appreciate you guys for doing that. And also have to thank our sponsors because they really help us out a lot all the time on our show. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process in Lebanon online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs online at bartondrury.com. Botero Carts, life is short, buy yourself a golf cart. With 2 locations in Columbia and in Gallatin. In Window Nation, tons of savings at windownation.com. You get a free estimate to have them come to your home and say, hey, here's what it would cost, and here's what we could save you with new windows at windownation.com. So Cam Ward has his best day as a Titan statistically, throwing for 228, 2 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers on the day, 21 and 28 passing. We'll talk about Cam a lot throughout this show, but the Titans win 26-9, dismantling the Chiefs. Jeffrey Simmons gets a safety. Jeffrey Simmons should have had a touchdown as a lead blocker for Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard goes for 100 yards plus in 3 consecutive games, and the Titans run away from that one. Easton, I predict the Titans to win 27-23 in the pregame show, and the Chiefs had nothing. Gardner Minshew's potential ACL tear in the first drive of this game was a big-time shift on how competitive this game would be. It did not change, however, the Titans' offense's ability to run the ball and throw the ball over this Chiefs defense that had a couple good pieces, but was missing another couple good pieces as well. How did you take in that game in Nissan Stadium in the press box and everything that went about the Titans' 3rd win of the season?
How to describe this? I have a feeling I'm going to be a bit of a Grinch this morning because if folks are wanting to throw a parade, if folks are wanting to throw a parade for that win, I will not be joining them. I talked all morning before the game on Twitter about how this had Titans' disappointing win written all over it. Now, I will not say it was a disappointing win. The worst case outcome did not come to fruition, thank God. The worst case being they won and like Cam sucked. Like that would have, that was on the board and it didn't happen, thank goodness.
Right.
But they were the better team going into it. I had been talking all week about how this had Titans win written all over it. I felt like the writing was on the wall the whole time. And even sitting down, I felt like I was kind of taking crazy pills, to be honest with you, because even sitting down before the game next to Buck and Terry McCormick, and they're talking about what they think is going to happen in this game, and I go, the Titans are going to win this game. And they both look at me like I have 5 eyeballs on my face. And they said they absolutely are not going to win this game. I go, they're going to win this game. And I was right. The thing about this game that is funny to me, all week long, I had been joking with Titans PR and some of the players and some of the coaches that also felt like this was a winnable game, all off the record, obviously, but I don't think they'll care about this. I was like, hey, I'll see you Sunday for a devastating win day. Sunday's going to be devastating win day. You guys are going to win, and it's going to devastate the masses. And they're like, yeah, see you on devastating win day. And yesterday I walk in, I'm like, hey, happy devastating win day. And they got the win. It's devastating if you're a huge fan of the draft, and we'll talk about what that means, because not only did the Titans winning yesterday go poorly for their draft stock, every other possible thing in the league yesterday went poorly for their draft stock. So the worst case scenario on that front did come to fruition. The thing about this game that I want to, let me get the poo-pooing out of the way so that we can then talk about the legitimately impressive and
because there, okay, let me just repeat that for you. There were legitimately impressive things that Cam Ward did yesterday, right?
Thank you. Yeah,
okay.
We're gonna spend the majority of the show on those things.
Yes.
But when we're looking at the win as a whole, we're gonna play a clip here in a minute of Cam Ward talking about why the win was satisfactory to him in this case, which was because they played complementary football and he liked the way they played in all 3 phases, which is, from his perspective, totally fair and true. From my perspective, watching Chris Oladokun play football for the majority of the time they were out there, and also let's not pretend like the Chiefs got a whole lot worse when Gardner Minshew hurt his leg. I was watching him duck hunt for the first 30, 40 minutes of that game before he went out. He got
hurt on the 3rd play. Yeah, he continued playing when he was hurt.
Oh, is that right? I missed that,
Yes.
not on the broadcast.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess that's probably why he looked so horrible then, right?
Yeah, because the scramble on the first third down where he scrambled for like 8 yards and then got up and kind of like hobbled off, that's when he potentially tore his ACL. And then he continued to play a couple series.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so I'll give him some grace on that front. Whether it was a representative sample of what he is right now as a quarterback or not, he was truly atrocious. So if he had played the whole game, I don't think that they were. Even if he was healthy and played the whole game, again, before I knew that he was going to get hurt in this game, I felt very confident the Titans were going to win. And the Chiefs, more important than the quarterback situation, honestly, they didn't get off the bus. That was my primary explanation to Buck and Terry sitting there when they're like, how do you possibly think they're going to win this game? I go, well, I think the team that's here in Nashville visiting isn't going to get off of their bus today. And they didn't. They didn't on offense. What I don't want to take away from is the fact that Cam Ward and the Titans offense did not, in fact, play Chris Oladokun and the Chiefs offense, right? They played the Chiefs defense, which is not the world-building unit that they've been in the past couple years, some of these Super Bowl runs, but they are a league average or above league average defense when healthy. They are missing some pieces, as you said, but they are absolutely a defense that is nothing to sniff at. I meant to find this before the show. From an efficiency standpoint, I think they're like 12th in the league this year from an EPA standpoint. So
the Chiefs came into this game top 10 offense, top 10 defense.
Okay.
They were 1-7
by
in
yards,
one score losses.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's by yards allowed. But so whatever metric you want to go by, this is an above average defense when healthy. They're a little banged up, so maybe they're an average defense. But the point is, Cam Ward this year has been playing a whole lot of not so average defenses. He's been playing the juggernaut defenses week in and week after week in and week out. And so I'm not going to take away from his performance or grade on a negative curve just because he happened to finally draw what was maybe around an average defense in the league. No. Drake May is getting MVP hype all year long for playing the Powder Puff Girls and Panera Bread State every weekend. So, Cam Ward doesn't get any hate for this. I was quite impressed with the way that he, in particular, finished the game. I liked the way that the offense worked in this game. But my rambling summed up here, Austin, is that I don't want to talk about the Titans' defense at all today. Like, they technically, they played complimentary football. Good for them. It was the first time they didn't allow an opponent to score a touchdown and a home win in 1,007 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Cool. It's Chris Oladokun and the ghost of Gardner Minshew and a team that didn't get off the bus. I don't care. They stink.
Truman Jones, sack and a half and a partially blocked punt. Big day for him.
True. And it was a day of names that you'd never heard before. So that was nice. There was a lot of, that guy's on the team. Okay, let's learn about him a little bit. So
40. Who's that?
right, exactly. There was a couple of them like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, do you feel the same way that this defense doesn't?
No, I mean, like
it was a preseason game from a defensive standpoint.
Look, we talked about this a lot yesterday. There was some, I think it was one of our popular haters on the online. Let me go back and find it.
Jeff?
No, Kane. Who has not showed up on the morning show in a while because he's but he tweeted at me and JT and A to Z yesterday after the game. Can't wait to hear how the team won because the Chiefs weren't playing for anything and because Mahomes was injured. Yeah, like that's exactly what happened. And we all know that. And Daniel says preseason game, explain. There were a lot of people for both.
Did you see who's playing quarterback? That's a preseason quarterback, guys. What do you mean?
South Dakota State University quarterback was playing. And so, look, I think it's important that they won for this team. It is great that this locker room got to experience this.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was a pretty decent guess. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was a good guess. But no, Kane, I can't wait to hear how the Titans won because the Chiefs aren't playing for anything for the first time in a decade. And Patrick Mahomes is in there. That's exactly what happened.
Precisely how they won. Yeah.
If both those things were different, if the Chiefs had the playoffs on the line and Patrick Mahomes did not blow his knee out last week, then the Titans would not have won that game yesterday.
We did the Vegas math on this last Tuesday that the Titans were going to be 10.5-point home underdogs had Patrick Mahomes not blown his knee out.
Right. So, and because
they ended up being 3-point home underdogs, defense. And they whooped up on Chris Oladokun or whatever.
Yeah,
I still don't. It was said 7 different ways yesterday. I'm going to go with Oladokun because it's
Daniel says the Titans aren't playing for anything. They are. The Titans have. it's a complete, like, we understand like expectations, right? Like, can we be human beings and understand things? Like, can we just be real for a second? Because
They're
I'm sick
playing
of
for
this.
slightly more. It's not like one team's playing for the postseason and one's not. But one team is playing for their future and one is mailing it in until next year.
Yes, like, come on. We have brains. We can think through things logically. Can we be logical, guys? All I want for Christmas is for the Titans fan base to be freaking logical.
You're gonna be disappointed this Thursday.
It's insane. I'm taking crazy pills. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's think through this. The Titans are a bad football team.
It's gonna be okay.
The Chiefs are hurt. They're down bad, and they don't care anymore because they had their season ended 7 days ago. The Titans have had their season ended 70 days ago and are playing for something completely different. Like, do we understand this? And Audrey, oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. The Titans won and played well. Can we not just have one day being positive? No, we are being positive. Just we're also being logical.
Okay. All right. Relax, Austin. Relax. This energy is not good for us this morning. Take deep breaths. It's okay. I hear you. You're right.
Give me an aspirin.
Let's not let the the fringe crazies ruin the vibe this morning.
All right. Fine. We'll be positive. Asking this question. What was the most impressive thing the Titans did in that win over the Chiefs? 26-9. What was the most impressive thing the Titans did in that 26-9 win yesterday over the Chiefs? And gives my freak out a B+, which is going to be a continued running bit for
B+ to Z Sports.
Yes, for sure. All right. So, what was the most impressive thing the Titans did yesterday in that win over the Chiefs? We will let the answers fly in, and I will give you guys a chance to do that. But first, Barton Drury Insurance Group, A+ from them because they're helping us out, with all of our insurance need, our workers' comp policy that we've had for multiple years through Barton Drury Insurance Group. That is very complicated because the government makes things like that very complicated, especially when you have employees across many, many different states. But Barton Drury helps us out by having Zach and I not have to worry about our workers' comp policy being up to compliance or not. And then we've got our health coverage for our employees. It is a big deal that we want to add benefits for health, dental, vision, and Barton Drury set that up on a platter for us to all just easily enjoy and just click a few different buttons and boom, we're all set up. And that's what Barton Drury can do for you, whether it's you as an individual, you and your family. Maybe if you're an employer and you say, hey, company, we should have better benefits. Barton Drury is local in the mid-state area. You should catch up with them. They are great. They respond to emails. They will call you back. They will send you their phone number. They will text you. You can jump on a big Zoom or go see them in person. All these different things that make Barton Drury a great customer service and a great relationship is why we love dealing with them. We actually have a positive relationship with our insurance company. What? In this economy? Literally. How? Because Barton Drury is that good at what they do. So online, bartondrury.com.
We're also brought to you by BTA Sports, Better for Betters. Use the link in the description below to get a 14-day free trial, and it is a great time to do so with Christmas games coming up. Lord knows betting on those might be the only way to make them entertaining. We've got more college ball playoff on the horizon. We've got NFL playoffs on the horizon. A lot of meaningful ball to be played, and if you're going to bet on it, you're going to want BTA Sports in the palm of your hand. Machine learning, AI analytics to inform your betting and make you more money. It's as simple as that. Use the link in the description below.
Yeah, BTA Sports helped me turn $40 into $136 yesterday.
Woo-hoo!
So shout out to them. So a big couple of wins there. All right, Easton, to the chat you go. What was the most impressive thing the Titans did yesterday in this big-time win, 26-9 over those Chiefs?
By the way, speaking of big-time wins, I heard from a lot of people yesterday who had big-time losses thanks to the referees on that Tony Pollard touchdown.
Ooh.
I know one guy who was out $800 because of that anytime Tony touchdown that would have completed a monster parlay for him.
No, he was not out $800.
No. Yes. The $800 was momentarily in his pocket, and then about 30 seconds later, the referees ripped it away for fun.
Okay.
Which is it is less painful than losing the $800. But let's not downplay the fact that he almost had the hit of his life, and he in fact earned it, but the referees stole it from him.
Yeah.
would make me furious at Cleat. Yes.
Ugh.
Anyways, the most impressive thing that the Titans did is, according to Duran, continue to show O-line progress. Yes, Cam Ward, I was looking at some of his numbers right here. His pressure rate yesterday was below average in the league. So above average in terms of keeping the quarterback clean, which is impressive. Even though, by the way, let me double check this. Yes, the Chiefs blitzed Cam Ward at the second highest rate in the league. So they were sending attackers, and the offensive line was not allowing him to get pressured at an above average rate. So a big win for them. Playing a complete game and handling business, says Darius. Catching the ball, says Eric. Cam's throws to Ellick with a Q, a little zest at the end of that one. He liked the passes to between the rookies. Jeffrey freaking Simmons says Titans 27539, which is a perfectly fair answer. According to us, nothing. Yep, that's right. We hated that game. Guy says dominating from start to finish, so a complete game. That's a fair one. Not losing is always nice. Big Jeff continuing to be Big Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Catching the ball, sustaining drives, and their third down efficiency. Yeah, I need to pull that up here in a second, but I know that the Titans, I believe they held the Chiefs to 1 third down conversion, and they themselves converted on the majority. Let me just pull this up. This is worth mentioning. So the Titans, third downs, I know it's in here somewhere. Third down efficiency, 1 of 9 for the Chiefs. That's impressive for the Titans defense. Again, Looney Tunes kind of stuff, but still. The Titans were 9 of 17. 9 third down.
9 of 16.
What
that last third down attempt was a kneel down.
Oh. Man, that's lame that gets put in the stats, but fair enough.
I know.
I
hate that. It also makes Cam Ward look like he had 4 carries for 9 yards to a long of 11.
Right.
Kneel downs should be team stats and not individual stats. And like we should all put those in.
Do what the NBA did this year, where they stopped counting halftime heaves. Yeah. Those shouldn't count the same way that kneel downs shouldn't count.
Yes, for sure.
So 9 of 16. I'd have to go back. I'm sure Nick Suss somewhere in the ether knows the last time the Titans converted 9 third downs in a game. I bet it was a long time ago. So yes, third down efficiency and sustaining drives was a big one. Catching the ball is a common positive in the chat. No turnovers again. 2 touchdowns and no turnovers from Cam. Love that. Cam Ward in the offensive line. Taking Chris Jones out of the game. Offensive line actually doing their job. Blocking on offense. So folks are very pleased with the Titans' offensive line performance. The whole team playing with passion, not giving up, which seems like a small thing, but it's not. Run blocking and rushing attack, another impressive day on the ground for the Titans. Absolutely. Complimentary football for once. That's what Cam Ward liked about it. Good offensive game plan, actually. I do think it's worth giving the coaches credit the past couple of weeks, actually, for the way that they have put together some impressive plans. Now, I think the fact that the Titans are finally running the ball is kind of opening up the playbook to run an actual offense, But they also get credit for figuring out the run game to an extent, so good on them.
Yeah, so I think for me, the most impressive part of this was not getting pulled into the mud by the Chiefs. And because that would be, otherwise known as playing down to your opponent.
Right.
The Titans were the better
team. It's such a funny, the 2025 Titans playing down on at home to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right, but the Chiefs knew what they were going to do, right? It's also...
It's just like, how did we get here?
Yeah, the third game in a row of running the football with good efficiency and explosion, and then throwing the football on top of that, protecting the football, and scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Right.
I'm going to say this. The Titans were 4 for 4 in scoring touchdowns in the red zone yesterday. But Cleat Blakeman makes that look 3 for 4 on the actual stats. So if we are going to be big mad at somebody, don't be mad at Easton and I for being negative when we're just being realistic on a show. Be mad at Cleat Blakeman for ruining so many things. Tony Pollard deserves a rushing touchdown yesterday, but no, Cleat took it away. Your buddy, deserved that $800 for that parlay, but Cleat took it away. Jeffrey Simmons deserved to have a lead blocking experience touchdown run, but Cleat took it away because Cleat doesn't pay attention. And the Titans offense deserved to have a 4 for 4 touchdown in the red zone performance against the Chiefs defense.
Hey,
Cleat Blakeman took it away.
Mike McCoy deserved the opportunity to challenge that fourth down completion. Now, it wouldn't
He shouldn't
have
have because Gunnar Helm's
Correct.
foot was in the line.
And I don't.
Toe was
This
in the
is
line.
this is a funny insider baseball quirk of the way that the Titans press box works, by the way, because there's like the intrepid old school dyed in the wool journalism corner, which is in the very far front corner at the 50-yard line, and that's Jim Wyatt, it's Kaharski, it's Teresa Walker, it's whoever's with the Tennessean at the moment. It's like the seats that have been established since your grandfather was born, right?
No, since you
I know,
were
but to
born.
me, it feels like for eons.
Since you were born.
Correct. And then there's like a bunch of seats of miscellaneous things, and even a lot of the traveling folks they give preferential treatment to be good hosts and put them. And so it's like 50 seats between us and them. And then it's like the new school mix and match group, which isn't like a compliment to be in this group, but honestly, I just don't care because I think it's all going to change when the new stadium opens anyways. So it's like a lot of the 104.5 people, it's Buck, it's me, it's a lot of the TV
outlets.
people,
Yeah,
right? A lot of the TV folks. So we're all so it's a bunch of folks that are there on a daily basis, and so it's fine. It's like we got kind of friends over there and friends over here, and we're so far away, but we intermingle with our own groups that you'll sometimes in real time realize that we come to completely different conclusions because we are segmented away. And apparently, the journalism corner decided that that was the most challengeable call in history, and I can't believe they didn't challenge it, which to us in the new school corner was crazy town because it looked like it was clearly out of bounds. There's at the very least, there was nothing to overturn the call on the field. No shot. And I'm like, what angle are they seeing that we don't see? Turns out there wasn't one. I just don't know what they're looking at. I think that it was mostly Paul leading the charge because he was mad at Mike McCoy.
No, they weren't wearing their glasses. That's what it was, because you're age shaming them. So like they weren't wearing their glasses. They had to do the whole like
probably the Mike McCoy on Zoom.
Yeah.
So I do largely think it was Kaharski just being mad at McCoy because he likes to be mad at McCoy, and that's coming from a guy that loves to be mad at McCoy. I don't know what they saw, but to Kaharski's credit, he did look up the fact that the refs were wrong to not let them challenge, and it looked like, reading the body language, McCoy kind of wanted to, but Blakeman was down there explaining to him that after the booth quick review or whatever, you can't challenge it. Even though on Thursday Night Football 2 weeks ago, we literally saw a booth review of a booth review get overturned. So this is happening in the league.
Yeah,
I don't know why that's even allowed, but they will do it.
I don't. It's weird, right? And like to the person that Easy Money said, and this sounds like a high school lunchroom. To continue the high school analogy, the referees are hall monitors. They always are. They are people that love wielding power who don't need it, and nobody cares that you can like. Why do you want to be this way? Like that. That's why are you the way that you are? Is how I feel when talking about refs.
You know,
why are you the ruiner of fun and the ruiner of just flow? Just get the hell out of the way. Nobody's here for you. Who cares? Why did you want to be a hall monitor?
You know how in senior year of high school, at least this was the way where we went to school, Austin. There's the student body, student government, and there's the grade student government. So there's some folks that are like, it's like state and local, it's like local and federal government. And it's like the student bodies over everybody. And they run the pep rally. Like they do the important stuff for all of and then there's the 12th grade student government folks who are basically just in charge of the reunion in 10 years. They don't actually do anything else. But those folks, in my experience, always wanted to be more important than they were, even though they had no actual jobs. That's kind of the refs to me. It's like, you're not even really in charge around here, or at least you shouldn't be. You've been given, authority on paper, but nobody likes you. Please stop.
Yes. All right. So my answer. So back to the what was the most impressive thing the Titans did? I talked about how they were able to, just control the whole game, right? Not get down in the mud. I thought it was hilarious that Mason Kinsey was the one who drew like the personal foul after the play on special teams by Hicks. Who was just being constantly frustrated that game. So there's a lot of good things.
He was doing that all game, by the way, too. It's like
they've been doing it for like the last
people
6
for
years.
60 minutes.
I mean, so that's what Mason Kinsey does. So all right, there's a lot to continue to unpack. King BC says lock in, like the show, like the show. I did want to bring up something too before I get to your answer, because we're about to have a larger conversation about Cam Ward, where he has shown the most growth, all of that, but Danny says Pollard looked good again, but it was just was it just me? Seemed like Tajay was seeing holes and gaps better. So like, no, Tony Pollard has been really good this year, and I think
for 3 weeks,
his stats have been really good for 3 weeks, for 4 weeks now, actually.
Yeah, but the month before this, he was actually playing really bad football.
I think he looked
pretty washed.
I think there was a time where Tony Pollard was pressing. Washed, never.
I didn't say he was washed. I said he looked washed.
No, and I think that's where there was a premature washing of Tony Pollard.
It clearly was premature, but it was also bad football.
I think he was pressing because his offensive line and the run scheme was completely lost. And
that part's true too.
And like there was like the game right before, I want to say, when he had like 20 something yards rushing, he had more yards after contact than he had total yards.
Right.
And so that is Tony Pollard not being washed. That is Tony Pollard running for his life. And
there was some of that, but he also was not seeing it very well. Like I'm just from a film standpoint, I'm telling you, he was missing stuff.
Because I think he was pressing because he was expecting to have to hit the spin button like immediately, right?
Probably.
Like when he didn't need to. And so I think there was a little bit of that. There was a.
He's clearly not washed, right? That's been established over the last month. Never mind on the washed thing.
I think Tony Pollard's month of misery in November was a symptom of the run game being broken above him.
Fair.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And you could see the holes, Easton, on all 22 film?
On film, everybody can see it.
Cheating from the sky? Yes, I can see the holes. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, so could Tony on Monday.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of things about film watching that like are above my pay grade. Finding holes in the run game, not amongst them. I can see those.
Yeah, you can see those. So I think that's
you could too.
Tony Pollard's washed look in November, month of misery, was a symptom of the run game being broken. The run game is now fixed. I think Luke Stocker deserves a lot of credit for that as well.
Future Tennessee Titans staff member Luke Stocker, by the way.
Should be. Damn it, should be.
I believe he will be retained.
Tony Pollard.
You and I, let's be the first to stamp our flag. I don't think anyone else has mentioned this, just randomly. Mark it down. December 22nd, Luke Stocker will be retained by the new coaching staff.
Okay. I dig it.
I bet he is.
All right, so Tony Pollard deserves a lot of credit. Tajay Spears deserves a lot of credit. So on the season, Tony Pollard is now, just a couple games away. Easily should be a lock for 1K, assuming health. The last 2 weeks on the season, it's back-to-back 1,000 yards rushing. And Vanessa says Tony is mid, playing some bad teams at the moment. Okay, Vanessa. Like you want to hate on us for being negative? That is miserable.
Yeah, Vanessa, why can't we just be positive on a victory Monday, Lord. Vanessa?
Tony Pollard got three straight 100-yard games. All the Titans franchise does is just pump out 1,000-yard rushers.
This is true. We will not go down this road right now. We don't have time. But I am very curious what happens to Tony Pollard. I still am pretty certain he's not back with the Titans.
That's crazy. It would be so dumb. It would be so dumb for them to not bring him back.
Oh, it sounds like we have a show topic to talk about then. No,
yes.
Keep my mouth shut then. I don't think that they'll keep him.
It's so dumb. Why? He's going to get like $6 million next year? Who cares? You have 108 in space with him being paid $6 million.
This is
cares?
This is perfect show topic for next week. We will. There's a lot to dive into there that I'm not going to.
Andre,
why bring him back? 20 minutes
He's under contract. He's run for 2,000 yards in the last 2 years.
I hear you.
Where the Titans have 6 wins. He's run for 2,000 yards. He was voted a team captain by the locker room. Who cares? He's being underpaid next year, and you have the most cap space in the league. Just keep him. It would be so much more effort to cut him than to keep him.
They want a better running back.
Okay, you can go do that and keep Tony Pollard. And then guess what? If Tony Pollard gets beat out in training camp, you can cut him then. Who cares?
But that's
no point.
That's still cutting him though.
Okay, but you don't have to cut him in February. Okay. This isn't a Harold Landry situation.
I hear you. Although Harold,
but for the money, you had to cut.
Yeah. I hear you.
Okay.
Pencil that in for New Year's week.
I mean, yes.
We're eventually going to start doing shows of who should stay and who should go, and that sounds like it's going to be a hot topic on that.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait. All right. So Easton, you have data, you have numbers, you've got all this on Cam Ward, where Cam Ward has shown the most growth over the last few weeks. But first, tell us about Botero Carts.
Botero Carts. Life is short. You need to buy a golf cart. Head on over there any day of the week because they are open 7 days a week. They're a locally owned and operated full sales and service dealership with 2 locations to serve you in Columbia, Tennessee, and in Gallatin, Tennessee. So head on over there to check out their carts where they're not going to nickel and dime you. There's no hidden fees, no credit card fees. There even is a no credit needed option if that's something that you are interested in. They offer 0% financing for 36 months on carts starting at just under $6,800. So go and check out their locations in Columbia or in Gallatin, wherever you are in Middle Tennessee. No excuses. They've got one near you and they are ready to serve you. Go and buy a golf cart from Botero Carts today.
BTA Sports, better for betters. Easton just got zapped back into 1997 with that connection. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, you are super fuzzy. You are, I don't know. You're getting better slowly.
Still? Hello?
It's slowly getting better. All right.
You're
so
not
if
fuzzy.
you want to,
I see everything crystal clear.
you are.
Maybe it's just because maybe it's your computer problem.
No,
chat. Do you see me fuzzy?
No, it is really bad. Like I'm looking at it on YouTube right now. You look like 2001 Madden graphics is what you look like. Right now. All right, guys. But BTA Sports is where to go. BTA Sports, better for betters. I turned 2 bets, $20 a piece, into 136 bucks right there. Because BTA Sports knew that Chimdike had a great shot that is over, knew that Chig and Ellick had a great chance for 25 yards. 1 touchdown pass is all I needed for Cam Ward. Bang, there you go for BTA Sports helping me out right there. BTA Sports, better for betters. You can download the app, use the code. This is the best deal. Merry Christmas on this. It is code AtoZSports, 14-day free trial. There's less than 14 days left in the regular season at this point. So 14-day free trial. Plus a 12-month subscription that's for $80. It's going to get you all the playoffs, all of Major League Baseball, and the whole season next year in the NFL. BTA Sports, better for betters. You are now fixed and clear. So I will let you tell us, where has Cam Ward shown the most growth over the last few weeks?
Well, that is a hard thing to narrow down to one answer because he has grown in a lot of ways. I'd say just from an overarching standpoint, he has grown in being a tractor quarterback as opposed to a trailer quarterback. He has grown as an overall operator of an offense. His efficiency is the number one thing that he has increased. I want to just run through some of his numbers. So we've talked about how this was his 3rd consecutive game with 2 touchdowns passing. It is his 2nd consecutive game with a triple-digit passer rating. The only 2 triple-digit passer ratings in his career have been this week and last week. This week's was by far the best of his career, 122.3. That is 21 points clear of his career best, way clear of his career average. He did so against an opponent that was not playing super great, which is fair to mention, but it wasn't like he was given all the time in the world back there and he had guys screaming wide open at all times. When you dive into some of the more advanced metrics, you see that his time to throw was actually the fastest in the entire league in week 16. Easily the fastest of his career, 2.42 seconds to throw. And that wasn't just because he was dumping the ball off all the time. He had a 10% deep passing rate, which was, let's see, for this week, it was right above league average. I'd have to see what his depth of target, 8.1 yards per attempt yesterday. I don't have the depth of target right in front of me, but that yards per attempt number is good enough for our purposes here. 10.9 yards per completion. So it wasn't like he was dinking and dunking his way to a super fast time to throw number. He was getting the ball out with real efficiency and seeing the field pretty clearly.
Can I add something on that part of the yards per completion? Because the times where he did throw shorter passes, I thought he placed the ball in ways to allow for yak.
I agree. I think that's fair.
Especially in the quick screen game, in the wide receiver / tight end screen game. Right. Sometimes those guys have had to make some weird catches that don't allow for upfield momentum. I thought the first play yesterday of Chig on that screen going 15 yards, great execution, great blocking by the wide receivers. Chig caught the ball in stride on the screen, got upfield, physical, fast. It was on time. It was perfect.
Right. And then, as I mentioned earlier in the show, he had nearly a 50% blitz rate yesterday. So the Chiefs were really trying to get after him, and they did not pressure him at a very effective rate at all. The Titans' offensive line deserves some credit for that, but the quarterback deserves some credit for that too, because as we know, it's a team effort when it comes to pressures and sacks, and Cam Ward is a big part of that. So he's just gotten faster and better and smarter, and it's starting to show. I also think in that first half when he was playing fine, it wasn't like he was hurting the team in the first half, but they weren't moving the ball as well as they did in the second half. They did far outgain the Chiefs yesterday. I think they outgained the Chiefs by like 250 yards or something. So they were moving the ball fine in the first half, but it wasn't leading to a whole lot of points. His receiving core, we know the deal with his receiving core, right? We know the limitations and how, the fact that his two tight ends have really been the most effective and efficient targets of his for about a month now, which tells you all you need to know about what the receiving core actually looks like. And in that first half, I even tweeted out at the time that Alec Iamaner and Chimere Dike, it feels like they slammed 80 miles per hour headfirst into the rookie wall about a month ago. Because that's honestly how it feels, is they have Alec, everybody feels like Alec fell off after week 4 or whatever. And then DK, he had that month where he ran back 2 punts and he was incredible on special teams, and then had a couple of games where he really broke out as a receiver and everyone was all crazy about him, and he deservingly so has kind of taken a step back from that as well. Now in the second half, those two came alive in a way that we hadn't seen in a while, to be honest with you. And I still think that they both are pretty prime rookie wall candidates. Like, I think in totality, you're seeing the effects of a pair of guys that are being way overused for their ideal development track because of necessity. Kind of a baptism by fire thing going on. And it doesn't worry me about their future necessarily, but I just think this year the expectations are we've probably seen the best of them, and that's okay. It's all about what they can do with recovering with their legs and getting a real offseason under their belt in a couple of months. What do they look like in year 2? That's the most interesting thing about them to me. But Cam Ward making the best out of a really poor situation in terms of targets is another impressive part of his game to me.
Yeah, I think Cam has been, for me, I feel like he is, you said he has sped up. I think he has, I think the game has slowed down for him.
Right.
And he has been more comfortable. And you can clearly see that because, not just the last 3 games, but now we talked about the Titans have had 4 out of the last 5 games scoring 24 points or more. And those are all offensively earned, right? The Browns, I guess there were some special teams field positioning sides of things, but they did not, but either they kicked a field goal or they scored a touchdown on offense in those 4 out of 5 scoring 24 plus. And yesterday they had 24 plus offensive because you had the 26 because Jeff had a safety. So I think the way that Cam has gotten more comfortable, I think this is everything. And this is huge. Like, it was a great thing for this team that they won yesterday. We'll talk about the draft stuff here in a minute, but it was a great thing that they won because the offensive line, why I was so pissed off about people that are just saying, you should just cut Tony Pollard. Who cares? Well, like, your offensive line has figured some things out. It's not perfect, but it's figured some things out. Your run game is working more efficiently. You've got guys making plays on the outside for Cam. Cam is seeing it better, and he's executing well and on time for the most part. I think there's a lot to build on and a lot of growth that's being made over the last 3 to 5 weeks. That Jags game in there is just kind of the weird one. Mm-hmm. And I guess if you go back and looked at how that game script played out, the turnover by Chim on the fumbled kickoff kind of messed it all up.
Hey, and by the way, the Jags may very well be the best team in the AFC. So it's like
Maybe.
I mean,
there's a lot of teams that are very
they kind of whipped up on the number 1 seed yesterday in Denver. So
yeah, and I think Bo
Jags
Nix
are pretty freaking good.
The Jags are sure, absolutely, but the Titans, that game got away from them really quickly. That was the game where Tony Pollard had 10 carries for 60 plus yards, and they're like, why didn't they just give him the ball more?
Right. That the coaching in that game was real questionable.
But it was also, but it was game script. Like they got away from it too early because they panicked because they got down to 15-3 real quick because of the turnover.
They panicked. They shouldn't have panicked.
Right, for sure. And so Swan says, what do you think about the deep ball of the sidelines now, Austin? He completed 1, or I guess 2, right?
It was actually technically 3 of 5 on 20-plus air yard throws yesterday.
Okay, yeah, and that's good.
Not all of them were like go balls, obviously, but
yeah, like the one to Ellick and the one to Chim, they're on that one drive. Great, awesome. And then I think one of them was another one, the Chig, maybe.
Was it that 3rd down conversion up the left side?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So again, Cam was much, much better. Last week he said, I need to stop focusing on trying to push them to one spot and just give them a chance. And you saw some of that play.
That Chig pass is actually prime, right? Because he is breaking to the boundary. That's exactly the kind of pass that we've seen Cam Ward try to lead him all the way to the boundary and force an athletic toe tap catch of some sort, really lead the guy. Instead, he kind of threw it behind him. He threw it more like a jump ball, gave it some air, and let Chig go up and make a winning play on the ball, which, again, a big part of that equation is you need guys that you can trust to actually go up and be a ball winner. But credit to Cam for giving his guy a chance and not throwing a perfect leading ball toe tap to the boundary, but just letting his guy go win.
Yeah, he threw the ball up to the receiver instead of trying to aim it. And we talked a lot about that last week.
And this is why completion percentage over expected, CPOE, is a receiver stat, not a quarterback stat. And I will always be confused why we use it as a quarterback stat, but that's a soapbox for another time. When folks are like, oh, but the CPOE, if that's what you lead with to make a quarterback argument, you have a weak quarterback argument. Anyway.
Since the bye week, we have seen a different type of Cam Ward. Agree?
We've got some numbers on that.
Go for it.
Like them?
If you have them organized, I was going to run through them. I was mentally organizing them just to spit them off. But if you've got them,
well, okay. So we'll have you run through them. This is actually I need to update this because this was compiled by Nick Suss in the middle of the game yesterday. So it's actually going to be a hair short.
All right, but I'll get you. So I'll touch through.
You've done the math on it.
Easier. I mean, I don't know what math or what the problems are, what the math equations are, but I'll just run through some numbers here.
Sure.
So since the bye week, Cam Ward has thrown 8 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
Yep.
He's also got a rushing touchdown, and he has got running games of 33, 37, 7 and 9, right? So he's done more of the scrambling since the bye week. That's kind of what opened some things up. So he's got 8 touchdown passes to 1 interception and then a rushing touchdown. So that's 9 total touchdowns to 1 interception. I do not think there is a fumble post bye week.
Maybe not a lost one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there was one at all.
Yeah. And so pre-bye week, which is more games.
Yep.
He's got 5 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions.
Right. So 8 to 1 post, 5 to 6 pre.
And who knows how many fumbles were in that.
At least 3, right?
Yes. So that's a big difference there. A large difference.
How about the quarterback rate, which again, this is missing like 7 passes from yesterday, but the point stands. He had a 72.1 quarterback rating pre-bye. Post-bye, he's somewhere in the neighborhood of an 89.1 quarterback rating. That's significant. Completion percentage, 57.6% pre, 63.4% post.
And I was going to run through the game-by-game completion percentage post-bye because I think there's something that's going to pull that 63 lower than really where it is. Because, in the freaking snow. Because it was 65%, 66%, 63%, 50% in the snow,
Mhm.
62%, 75% yesterday.
75%, by the way, by far his most efficient game.
Yeah, and there was a couple throwaways there. I think so. Again, Cam has been massively better since the bye week. I think there's another stat we can throw in there as well since the bye week. Now, it's not perfect, but it was better late than it was earlier. But the sacks and the protection have been much better. Now, you got sacked twice yesterday. So technically, after the bye week, he's still been sacked 13 times in those 6 games. But that's a better sacks per game than here's pre-bye week. 4, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot better per game sacks allowed than pre-bye week. So it's been that is the turning point. The bye week happened there. I think that's a really big deal. A really big deal.
I'm starting to think bye weeks might be important for rookies.
Yeah,
for
sure. All right, let's talk about the drafts aspect of this too, because I mentioned this on the post game show. What yesterday's game can really look like and what it can feel like. What will we remember that game by? But first, the Bone and Joint Institute, Easton.
The Bone and Joint Institute. They are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. They are right off the interstate in my neck of the woods. You get on 65, you head south from Nashville, and before you know it, you're going to be at that castle on the hill type building right off of I-65. They have everything under that one very large roof to help you out with whatever you're recovering from. It's a full clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, and rehab center. It's a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus that helps you recover. They have a dozen specialists, so whatever your injury is, whatever part of your body is broken, they've got somebody who specializes in fixing that part of your body. Check them out at boneandjointtn.org today to schedule an appointment and feel better.
That's absolutely correct. Also, BTA Sports, better for bettors. You can take advantage of the playoffs ahead and the Super Bowl and Major League Baseball by using the code AtoZSports. You get a 14-day free trial to wrap up the next couple of weeks in the NFL. And then a 12-month subscription is only $79. Weekly subscription, ATOZ 14, still 14-day free trial, $9.99 for weekly. But that 12 months for $79, you get the rest of these playoffs. You get Major League Baseball in its entirety next year, and you get next NFL season almost to its entirety. So check it out with BTA Sports, better for bettors. It is proven fact. They have helped me win a lot more in the NFL than I normally would have. Because I've got BTA Sports in my back pocket. All right, so in my opinion, Easton, yesterday's win over the Chiefs will be a bookmark moment for this Titans franchise, and
Definitely.
that is a double-edged sword bookmark moment, because it'll either be the bookmark moment of this team kind of figured it out, the athletes, the players that are still here figured it out and it clicked for them. And Cam got it going and completed the 3 games in a row of 2 touchdown passes and was the tractor quarterback that we've all been wanting him to be, and they won a game. Or it's the bookmark moment of this is when you lost out on some leverage and some draft capital to help your team accelerate the rebuild for Cam Ward. So what were your thoughts on the bookmark aspect of yesterday?
Yeah, for all of you old heads in the chat, it's what we used to call a fork in the road. And this definitely was that. The Titans' draft implications yesterday were negative across the board. We'll kind of run through all of the ways that it went poorly for them here in a second. But it's what the Titans players and coaches, but mostly players, have been talking about. We don't care about the pick. We think that winning is really important for our psyche, for the team building nature of this young core, for the culture of our building. And there's an interesting conversation to be had there. I've seen some trusted voices in the Titans media market online lay out why this general talking point that bad teams go through at the end of each year, which is like, well, winning actually is really important because of all of these reasons, and you shouldn't care about the draft order. Historically speaking, there are plenty of teams that had these, feel good wins at the end of the year, and then it didn't mean jack squat for them the next year. And
Mm-hmm.
especially that, it is especially questionable how important it is when it's not a team and staff carrying it over, right? It'd be one thing if it was Brian Callahan and company and a lot of these players were going to be back and the coaching staff was going to be back, and so the program was carrying momentum. But because the program is fully in flux and there's going to be a lot of new guys that didn't get any of that winning that are here next year, what does it actually mean? I, being Captain Nuance as I am, fall somewhere in the middle on the idea that for these young pillars of the team who, an interesting, kind of an under the radar, interesting comment that Cam Ward made yesterday, and I'm sorry for paraphrasing, I wish I had it in front of me. He said something to the effect of, there was a moment recently where the Titans during the week in the locker room, from a cultural standpoint, kind of flipped. And he talked through how their focus, their intention, their minds, it was mindset was the word I got there eventually, that their mindset kind of flipped. And he didn't elaborate too much on what that meant. But I do think when you consider the pillars, the foundation of this team, obviously Jeffrey Simmons being really the only veteran pillar, and then you've got Cam and Jim Dike and Alec and Kevin Winston and Femi and even some of these guys that are hurt right now, like it or not, they are pillars for the future of this team. At the very least, Gunnar Helm, at the very least, if they're not stars, they're the dirty workman foundation. There's a very decent chance that this past year's draft is a workman draft, which shouldn't be swept under the rug. You need workman drafts if you're going to have a team that's not razor thin at the top, and so that's a valuable thing to have. It's kind of like a starter pack draft in a sense, and those guys are going to set, whether they're the stars of the team or role players in the team, they are going to set the standard, set the culture of this team going forward. And so for them, and because the Titans have so many of them, I think there are plenty of teams in this situation that don't have this many guys that are proven future culture builders. That matters a ton. It matters a ton, and it clearly matters to them and their psyche and to Cam Ward. And the more so than the win and the loss here, Austin, what matters to me most is the fact that who cares what the actual outcome was? Look at what Cam Ward's doing. That's what we just ran through for the last 20 minutes. That part is undeniably real and important. Him playing like that is going to carry over, right? That does have carryover to the future, and so that's an exciting thing. All of that being said, their draft situation is screwed now.
Yeah, it really is screwed. But about this draft class, Jeffrey Simmons talked about how good this rookie class is. There's a reason. I walked away from rookie minicamp where there was the first time that we watched and listened and talked to all these guys. I was like, this is the most impressive draft class that I've ever seen from a human being standpoint.
A group of young men, right?
Like there's no doubt that there are future captains of this team in this rookie draft class that are not Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And they're day 2 and they're day 3. So you're going to have captains on day 1, day 2, day 3 from this class. Jim Dike, Alec Manor, Gunnar Helm, Kevin Winston Jr., Femi Oladejo. Those guys are grown-ups in how they approach their profession. And that is massive. They're not all going to be I highly doubt there's 1,000 yards receiving for any of those dudes in their career. It's probably a good bet on my side to say no. None of the 3 are going to have 1,000-yard season.
I mean, if you're literally just playing the odds.
Yeah, right.
Historically, forever and ever, the odds are no.
But you're going to have, I'm sitting here going man, if Calvin really was healthy, what would it look like to have that type of talent make Alec and Chim a little bit more open?
Right.
And then what does that look like? Right.
Earlier, that was Joshua giving me a hard time for saying that the Titans have overused Chim and Alec this year. What are you smoking crack today, Houston? I don't know what you're talking about. The Titans have clearly used their pair of rookie 4th round receivers more than any team in the history of the NFL wants to use rookie 4th round receivers.
Yes.
Those guys are getting used way more than they should ideally in it. That kind of player should be used like Torrey Horton is being used in Seattle. in spots. Like Isaac Tesla is being used in Detroit, who caught a touchdown yesterday, in spots. Like Kyle Williams is being used, we saw last night in New England, caught a touchdown, in spots. You maximize them by using them at the rate that they can handle. The Titans have shoved a fire hose directly down both of these guys' throats and turned to the spigot and said, figure it out. That's not maximizing them. It's not. It's overusing them.
You know what? I'm just going to add to that. Do you know where Cam Ward ranks in the NFL in most pass attempts this season?
It just total pass attempts?
Total pass attempts for a quarterback this season. Where does Cam Ward rank?
I don't know. Around league average?
6th most pass attempts in the NFL. Wow.
Okay.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
And like he has attempted a pass 497 times. That is behind Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Bo Nix, and Dak Prescott. Veterans, second year Bo Nix, veteran Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes, Cam Ward. And so those 497 pass attempts, how many of these are going to veterans?
Like none of them.
Very low percentage of them.
Cam has broken every NFL record there is to break in terms of passing to fellow rookies. That part's
Dak Prescott's thrown 552 passes, Bo Nix 551. That's first and second in the NFL this season. Those guys are throwing to veterans, not 4th round rookies. Because Cam got 3 of them.
Chris Jump says Kyle Williams and Torrey Horton have been hurt. Number 1, so have Ellick and Chim, by the way.
Yeah.
They both got hurt, notably. And also, 2, even if none of the aforementioned receivers were hurt, it doesn't change the fact that you wouldn't want to, you think the only reason Mike Vrabel hasn't been running Kyle Williams into the ground this year, 3rd round rookie on Mike Vrabel's team, is because he got hurt? I don't think you know Mike Vrabel. Did we see how Mike Vrabel used A.J. Brown his rookie year? Did we see that?
Yeah.
That's not good coaches who have the luxury of not needing to, don't run their 3rd and 4th and 5th round guys the way that the Titans have had to their credit, had to run their 4th round guys.
Yep.
And that's just, them's the breaks. Welcome to the NFL. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. It may be the Titans front office's fault for not, or Calvin Ridley's fault for getting hurt, and that's obviously not his fault. So it's just the way it was, man. But you don't want to use them the way the Titans have used them.
190 targets for those 3 guys. 190.
Out of how many?
Out of Cam's 497 are to those 3 guys.
It's a whole lot.
Well, 462 targets. I guess there's a handful of throwaways.
So nearly half, 40%. Of the targets have been to those 3 rookies.
Yeah. Because then you've got target share. 72 targets for Aya Manor leads the team. Chig's got 67. Chim has 65. Helm has 53. They're your top 4 target guys. Then
I want to make this part.
Go ahead.
Ahead.
Now you got Van at 49, Tajay at 41, Pollard at 36, Ridley 36, Lockett 21. Just for good measure. How about Restrepo is 7?
Heck yeah. I want to make this part clear because DeMario says the only way to get experience is to play a Titans rookie who's been playing this year. Yes, I am not saying that it has been bad for the long-term outlook of these receivers to play as much as they have. In fact, I would say, if anything, it's probably a good thing, right?
Because somebody said banked reps, right?
It has been a baptism by fire. What I am saying is, for their effectiveness this year, it has been a bad thing.
Yeah.
For their careers and experience in the NFL, it is a net neutral to a net positive, probably. But right now, it is limiting them. That's all.
Yeah. And so Garrett says, it's Borgonzi's fault. The fans were screaming we didn't do enough to get a better receiver group for Cam, and all they did was gave us Van and pre-draft Lockett, so wouldn't be mad at taking no one high. Look, I mean, it was Calvin Ridley stayed healthy.
Who
if Calvin Ridley didn't break his leg, then who knows what this looks like.
Right, but I also don't want to do revisionist history in free agency. Who are all they gave us was Van in free agency.
Well, so I think it was more don't wait until pick 101 to draft a receiver. That too. But
Okay.
again, I the way
Because
that
in
it's
free
played
agency,
out,
you could have gone and spent $10 million on De'Ami Brown, who just got cut by the Jaguars.
yeah,
So it's
I'm with you. Like,
yeah.
I think the way that
In the
it's played out,
draft, who do we wish they'd taken? I mean, a lot of fans obviously wish they'd stuck at 35 and taken Luther Burden, but we went down that road a million times. Like that, if
Just
you missed
wasn't
the boat
ever-
on that, then you missed the boat. The Titans were never taking him, and it had nothing to do with his talent.
and are the Bears right or wrong for doing that? I don't know. Like,
I mean, right now it looks like they got a guy for a discount.
well, yeah, we knew that, but like, what's that going to continue to look like over the next several years?
Fair question.
Right, and
But in a situation like the Bears have, I would wager they have a better ecosystem for a guy like that to thrive than the Titans do, because the Titans are struggling to keep their own guys in line who weren't off-field concerns coming out necessarily. You know,
for sure. All right, so to the draft situation here, because the
how
Titans.
bad is it, Austin?
I mean,
What's the damage?
it stinks because, again, my whole thought on this draft is the highest pick possible means that you can just work the system to continue to stack your future for the rebuild, because the biggest, quickest rebuilds in NFL recent history has always been sparked by a trade. And the Titans are included in this. The Titans were dog water, slobber all over it for 2 years under Wisenhunt and then the Malarkey interim. They got the number 1 overall pick after having Marcus Mariota as a rookie. They traded that number 1 overall pick. They jumped to 9-7 with the draft picks that they got plus more. It's jump started and accelerated the rebuild. You look at what happened with the Bears, right? The Bears are taking advantage of it right now because they had a big trade that jump started the rebuild. You look at what happened with the Houston Texans. It's not a draft trade, but trading away Deshaun Watson jump started the Texans rebuild to allow them to go do what they did with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson.
Right.
So that's big trades happen. And the Titans have won themselves.
The Jaguars made a big trade for a guy this year, and look at how they've turned around.
But not necessarily. But like,
don't pay attention to what the actual trade was. Just pay attention that they made a big trade.
But that matters. Like, the Titans have won themselves out of that trade spot.
Definitely.
And so now they're 6th because the Patriots win last night. It made the Titans and Cardinals strength of schedule even. Where before the Patriots won last night, the Titans had the smallest of margins, where the Titans were 5th, but now they're 6th. And you had the Saints come to town.
They had a 1/1000th advantage.
Yeah, crazy. The Saints are coming to town, who are now 5-win team because they've won 3 in a row. And the Titans are picking 6. Now they can pick no lower than 9th, right?
Correct.
Because they
cannot win more than 5 games.
If they beat the Saints and beat the Jags, or 5-12 on the year, they would be the 9th pick, I believe, or no lower.
No, that's true.
Well,
and then
we
you
don't
have
know.
to factor in maybe the Cardinals win 2 more.
But based on what I've looked at, I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
I think the Titans,
but if Cincinnati wins another game, New Orleans wins another game,
for sure.
And also, we're talking about the Titans winning out, which is not likely.
But do you subscribe to this? Because I said this. I said this in the pregame show. If the Titans beat the Chiefs and the Saints beat the Jets, the Titans are beating the Saints this next Sunday.
So you basically said if both the Titans and the Saints win this week, the Titans
will beat the Saints next week, because the Titans.
I don't immediately. My gut reaction is no.
Do you think the Saints are good enough to win 4 games in a row?
When you put it that way, it feels less likely.
Exactly.
But
that's what a win over the Titans would be the Saints' 4th win in a row. No,
right, and that'd be a big
not
deal.
Gonna happen. They're playing well, but they're not a good team, right? They're playing better, but they played the Jets led by Brady Cook.
Let me counter with, are the Titans good enough to win 2 games in a row? Because recent history tells us no, they are not.
If it's against
I don't think they're definitely going to lose. Like, let's be clear. I think this game's going to be maybe, like, it might be the most evenly matched Titans game we see all year. to be honest with you. It might be the best game we see all year from the Titans.
Yeah.
They are currently this is an interesting element of this. The Titans yesterday against the Fighting Gardner Minshews, and a team that was liable to not get off the bus, they were 3-point home dogs. Upcoming against the Saints, they are 3-point home dogs. So the Saints are getting 4.5 to 5.5 points of respect from Vegas in this game for their 3-win streak. Tyler Shuck looks like he has been the best statistical rookie quarterback of this class, better than Cam Ward on paper alone. When you start to do the math on circumstances and everything, I think that really changes things. But Shuck has been a really nice game manager so far and has stayed healthy, which was a big part of his eval. It's always funny with these guys that can't stay healthy. It's like with Jaden Daniels last year. He was like, how did we miss this? And it's like, well, let me go back to as a guy that was not high on Jaden Daniels, let me go back to my scouting report and see what was at the top of my list of weaknesses. And it was like, oh, the guy's going to break was at the very top. Maybe give it more than 1 year and you're going to see, like this year, the guy's going to break. I'm not wishing ill will on Tyler Shuck at all, but I do know that in college he broke 17 times and he's already 47 years old. So let's give it more than 8
why
games
he kept
of Tyler
getting
Shuck.
He kept getting extra years of eligibility because he kept getting hurt.
So let's give it more than 8 games of Tyler Shuck to deem him like for sure NFL great future starter quarterback. That being said, I could totally see the Titans winning this game. I think they're going to.
I think they're going to. They're going to beat the Saints.
I don't know. 1 week ago, Monday morning, looking at this Titans-Chiefs game, I was in your shoes right now saying the Titans are going to win this Chiefs game. I felt it in my gut. Right now, I have nothing resembling that feeling in my gut about this Saints game. Because I know that the Titans still have the Titans defense. And the Saints, unlike the Chiefs, who yesterday on offense were a walkover, the Saints, it's crazy, but the Saints are going to be
the same game yesterday. This same game. You switch the 6 and the 9 on the score, same game.
I'm aware. What about the 2 games before that they won?
Yeah, the Panthers and the Bucks are very impressive for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it's not like they only win games that are walkovers. The Titans this year have kind of only won games that were either wild flukes or walkovers.
How many teams though? Like, you know how hard it is to win 4 games in a row in the NFL? What?
Yeah, I think you're a little too in the weeds on this because
I'm not. I'm nailing it. It's that simple.
Your entire math on this is betting against them winning a 4th game in a row just because statistically outside of the real world it's hard to win 4 in a row. Yes. My evaluation is based on who's playing the game. Who's playing the like some of these years that the Chiefs won like 9 weeks in a row, I wasn't inherently betting on them to lose because it's really hard to win 10 in a row. I was looking at who they were playing in the 10th game.
Yeah, I am
looking at who the Saints are playing, and they are playing the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, who've kind of figured it out. What's more likely,
on
this
defense
Titans team to win back-to-back games or the Saints to win 4 in a row? Like both are.
I think that's a fair question. I don't think there's an obvious answer to that question.
Right. And so I do think, and MB says it's not streaks, it's who you're playing. So correct. You talked about the Chiefs winning 9 in a row, but the Chiefs were a good team, like a great team.
Yeah, I'm just saying any good team.
Teams. No, I'm talking about the Saints are not a good team, though.
They're not a good team, but they are better than the Titans.
So that's my point. My point is, when you're talking about bad teams have the ability to get hot, but it's not going to last that long.
Right. It might last a month. 4 games.
I think it's 3.
I think the Saints are playing the Tennessee Titans, and the Saints are a better football team, and Vegas agrees with me. So the Titans might win. But I don't think this is some clear Titans victory on the horizon.
I didn't say clear. That was my prediction though, and I'm sticking by it. I said
if you feel good on Monday morning that the Titans are going to win this game, which it sounds like you are,
I think it's going to be.
That's a flag plant on your part.
I think the Titans are going to beat the Saints.
Okay, I will not be joining you. I'll watch you wave that flag from afar. They may win. I'm not going to. I planted my flag on the Titans-Chiefs game. I don't have a flag to plant on this one. I'm excited to see it. I'm going to this game, and I'm hoping it's an entertaining one.
I think it'll be way more entertaining than yesterday. I think both teams are going to be scoring a bunch more. I think it's an over bet. especially with the weather now.
Well, right now the total in that game is 38.5. So if you love the over,
Dude,
strike while the iron is hot.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Any other okay, so back to the last part about the draft thing. So they are out of the trade back spot in the draft for the most part. They are going to miss out on the leverage that could have been gained by the quarterback draft, which is a bummer. But there are some good players that we will have a lot of time to talk about that could be in that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spot.
Mm-hmm. I think the silver lining is, well, I don't know. I guess there isn't much of one, because if they'd gotten into the second pick, then they would have.
Because then you're trading back, gaining another more stuff, and getting one of those good players that we're going to be talking about the next 4 months.
Right. Yeah, it is what it is. Here's the way that I look at it. If the worst case scenario for your season is you pick, well, in this case, it's literally worst case is 9, but I don't think the odds are the Titans pick 9th. I don't think they're winning out. So worst case scenario, you pick 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever it is the Titans are going to pick, and you get a Carnell Tate or a David Bailey, and you plug a big hole on your roster with a really good premium player. There are worst case scenarios than that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, that'll do it for us on this Monday. I do want to give a great shout out to our friends at Wilson County Hyundai. The year is about to end. There are 10 days, if you count today, left in the year, which means you can get a great deal on a new ride. WilsonCountyHyundai.com is where to go in Lebanon to save money on the ride, but also save money because it's the end of the year. So Payne Bone does a great job there with his team, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. That is it for us. Easton and JT will be here tomorrow, which is the last show of the week. So I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And then I will see you on Sunday. So for the next time I do a live show, plenty of content in between there and now. So we'll catch you guys later on. Appreciate it as always. Thanks.